Greetings, fellow songwriters and seekers, and welcome back to Muse Measure. If you haven't done so yet, hit the guy in the lotus pedal down below and benefit from all these wonderful questions I'm getting, which is not only making me a better songwriter, a better teacher, but it's inspiring me to write so much more music. And so we have a question from Lucas Bennett from Vancouver, BC, who was my first big city love. I went to that city when I was a kid and then also as a teenager because they had a lower drinking age. And that was the first city that I ever wanted to move to. I didn't end up moving there, of course, because I'm not a Canadian citizen, but that's a whole nother story. So the question is, when you're improvising on an instrument, how do you recognize the moment when something stops being a random idea and starts becoming a song? Yeah, so, I mean, it's kind of a metacognitive thing, and I try not to think about that when I'm improvising, but I recognize things as I'm improvising, and it's usually when something is repeatable. So music is a balance between repetition and variation. And so when you hit on something that is worth repeating or has a motivic feel to it, meaning it feels like an idea, it becomes, something that is material for a song. And there are songs where there's no repetition. In fact, my last record with Octave Records called Fool's Leap of Faith, there's quite a few songs where nothing is really repeated and it just keeps going. But it's just some kind of energy, or maybe there's a repetition of a groove that happens, or it's like a story gets told or some kind of concept evolves. Because sometimes when you're improvising, it's just a random gobbledygook of strange images. And you can't think of what to make of it. You can't figure out how you would form together. Or there are ideas, there are motifs, but they're either cliche or just like, that's just kind of lame. I don't really like that. That sounds like everything else that's been done. Just by way of example, I have this song called No Man's Land, which you can hear at Octave Records. And this came from an improv. So I was just doing this thing on the guitar. So I like this. So right away I've got to feel that, okay, this is something that is cool. Maybe you don't think it's cool, but I thought it was cool at the time. This interesting little guitar thing I'm doing with my fingers. I'll try to lean back so you can see it. So I just improvised. I've been looking, but it's not working. No one will shake my hand. I've been lurking in shadows shirking the bear trap and its pain. I will build my boat, I will build my army, I will take my stand in no man's land. Okay, so I had a couple things there that I was improvising. Of course, it wasn't that polished when I was improvising. I don't want you to get that impression. Sometimes they are, though. It's incredible. Sometimes you just sit down and you can pop out a whole song in one sitting. This one was pretty close to that. I got most of that first verse in the first go around. So what I liked, so the things that told me this is a song, is that I liked the guitar thing. I also like the mysterious lyrics. I've been looking, but it's not working. No one will shake my hand. So there's a lot of like mysterious questioning things. And I liked, even though I was playing things, that it's not groundbreaking chord progression that I'm doing here. I liked the kind of Spanish feel of it. I liked that kind of, because I had just been to Spain. I was doing a Don Quixote trail through Spain. So I had that Spanish sound in my head, and I liked that, So I liked all that. So even though it was, it sounded like other, quote unquote, maybe even cliche Spanish chord progressions, but I still liked it because the mysterious lyrics were not about that. It was about something else. So they helped add that air mystery to it. And now, even though the no man's land is a cliche, this was like, well, how can I turn that cliche into something interesting? And the mystery of those lyrics made me think, okay, well, there's something here that I can work with, because I'm taking a cliche and defamiliarizing it. I'm in no man's land, but is it because I'm experiencing a death of my ego? I'm like, I've failed at everything. I'm a nobody now. I'm an outcast, a denizen that's cast out in exile. All the lyrics pointed to that. No one would shake my hand. Well, why will no one shake my hand? What did I do? Okay, and why am I building up this army? Why am I building up a boat like Noah? So all these interesting questions came up, and so that's when I knew, okay, this improv is not just a bunch of gobbledygook, a bunch of random lyrics thrown together that don't make a lot of sense or are creating something not interesting. Instead, they're creating something that is something I can work with. And it was a very simple form to write lyrics to that, so I was able to complete the song very quickly. So I would say that when an improv is turning into a song when it piques your interest, like, oh, that's interesting. Huh. When you're bored with it, or you just think like, oh, I'm just repeating myself here, then that's when you can just like say, okay, well, that was a good exercise that I did for the day, but I'm not going to use that again. So I'm always looking for something that's interesting, a new take on something, or a cool chord progression that resonates with me in some way. It's kind of a mystery why we like the things that we like and why certain things pique our interest, but I think that's what you're looking for. Is this something that's interesting for me? Would this be something that I'd want to hear again? And does it provide enough questions where I'm engaged, my mind and my imagination are now starting to work and go, trying to form all this stuff. Anyways, I hope that helps. And best of luck with your songwriting and your spiritual practice. Take care.